Well, what has come as a big setback to Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party. His former ally, OP Rajbhar, who's also the president of the Suheldev Bharatiya Samaj Party, has now come back to the NDA fold. Well, just for context, he was with the NDA earlier as well, because he was a cabinet minister in the Yogi government in 2017, and then he was sacked. Later he announced that he will contest elections with Akhilesh Yadav, and the 2022 state polls were contested by him with Akhilesh Yadav. And now he says that he tried to contact everyone, including the SP, BSP, but nobody listened, and for the cause of social justice, he is coming back to the NDA fold. Now, this has major ramifications, not just for the politics of Uttar Pradesh, but also as far as the larger picture of 2024 is concerned. The BJP's OBC push, as two key OBC leaders in Uttar Pradesh, Dara Chauhan and now OP Rajbhar, have now joined the NDA fold. Well, Dara Chauhan is set to join NDA and he's poised to join NDA, but this comes as a big setback to Akhilesh Yadav. Let's first listen to what OP Rajbhar had to say.
इसके साथ ही सर, आपने पहले ये बात कही थी कि सपा, बसपा, आरएलडी और कांग्रेस अगर सब एक साथ मिलकर आते हैं तो मैं भी उनके साथ जुड़ूंगा।
भाई, मैं इंतजार कितने दिन करूंगा। मैं लोगों से प्रयास किया बात करने की, लेकिन कभी उधर से कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आया। तो समाज हित में, देश हित में, गरीब, कमजोर, वंचित, शोषितों के हित में जो लड़ाई हम लोग लड़ते हैं, चाहे वो महिलाओं की हो, नौजवानों की, किसानों की हो, गरीब की, असहाय की हो, तो उस लड़ाई को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए जो काम भारतीय जनता पार्टी, माननीय देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो लड़ी जा रही है, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी, माननीय यूपी के मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी के नेतृत्व में जो लड़ाई हो रही है, उस लड़ाई में हम लोगों ने कदम बढ़ाकर साथ चल करके इस लड़ाई को आगे बढ़ाने का प्रयास किया।
So, well, who essentially is OP Rajbhar? What is his importance as far as the OBC vote is concerned? Why did he decide to join the NDA fold? Well, Alok has details on that. And Akhilesh Sharma joins us with the larger picture as to what it means for opposition unity and why the BJP has decided to bring in these key OBC leaders.
Does not cease to surprise you even on a Sunday. Nevertheless, I don't think it was too much of a surprise that Mr. Rajbhar was going to go back to the NDA. We all know, especially in Uttar Pradesh, that his relations with Akhilesh Yadav had soured in the last some time. Like you said, he had contested the 2022 state election in an alliance with Akhilesh Yadav. And, there was an uptick in the performance of both the Samajwadi Party alliance and of Mr. Rajbhar party itself, the Suheldev Bharatiya Samaj Party in eastern Uttar Pradesh in that election. Now, Mr. Rajbhar is an OBC leader, as we all know, and his party holds influence in seats starting from Awadh, which is right next to Lucknow, all the way to eastern UP. Of course, there would always be that debate about how many seats a party like Mr. Rajbhar's can actually influence. But like you said, he is somebody who is known to be in the news. He is not afraid to speak his mind. Which then brings me to the second question, how much of compromise can you make in politics? Because Mr. Rajbhar was with the NDA earlier. Like you said, he was a cabinet minister in the Uttar Pradesh government, in the Yogi 1.0 government. Then he quit. When he quit, he said that Yogi Adityanath does not listen to me. He does not believe in, taking regional parties along, etc., etc. There were many things that were said. And that's when he actually switched over to Akhilesh Yadav's alliance, the Samajwadi Party alliance. In fact, I distinctly remember that he was at the forefront of many campaigns and was side by side with Akhilesh Yadav during that 2022 campaign, in which the Samajwadi Party, of course, did not manage to upset the BJP, but it bettered its own performance in that assembly election. So him switching over to the NDA, to the BJP, does mean that the BJP is trying to consolidate its OBC vote base, especially in the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, because he's not the only one who has switched sides in the last some time. Very briefly, before we go to Akhilesh ji, Dara Singh Chauhan, another OBC leader with a sizable following in eastern Uttar Pradesh, who was with the BJP and a minister in Yogi 1.0 and had quit and joined the Samajwadi Party and won his assembly election in 2022, has also met with the Home Minister. It's likely that he's also going to return to the BJP. So the BJP will certainly say that this is a shot in the arm for them, especially in the eastern part of the state. The Samajwadi Party has reacted and said that the BJP and Mr. Rajbhar or anyone else should not be in any doubt. It is the Samajwadi Party Party, and their PDA, Pichhada Dalit Alpsankyak, or backward minorities and scheduled castes. It is that formula of theirs that is going to, actually help them moving ahead to 2024. And interestingly, this PDA term, if I remember correctly, was the first time he coined this, Akhilesh Yadav coined this, was in an NDTV conclave that we held in Lucknow a while ago.
The BJP hopes that, it will help not only in the Uttar Pradesh, but also in entire North India, because it will send a very strong message, because the BJP has set a very ambitious target in Uttar Pradesh to win all 80 Lok Sabha seats. And for this, the BJP, of course, has to settle its equations in the eastern part of the Uttar Pradesh or the Purvanchal, because in the past two elections, be it the 2022 Assembly elections or 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP suffered losses in eastern UP especially. And that was the main reason why Om Prakash Rajbhar and Dara Chauhan, they have been brought back. This is an attempt by the BJP to revive the Rainbow Coalition, which it formed prior to 2014 Lok Sabha election. And Amit Shah played a major role. He was General Secretary at that point of time. He traveled widely in the Uttar Pradesh, and that point of time he picked up all these leaders who represent a smaller caste in eastern UP, be it Om Prakash Rajbhar, be it Dara Chauhan, or other leaders, Anupriya Patel. All these leaders have been brought back to the BJP's fold. BJP hopes that, the OBC combination will come back to party, because party did not perform well, especially in the eastern UP in the past two elections. So this is the main reason why Mr. Rajbhar has been brought back, despite all his utterances, all his wild allegations against Mr. Yogi Adityanath or the BJP. He has been brought back, and I won't be surprised if he soon finds a place in Yogi's cabinet too. And as far as the BJP's larger picture is concerned, because all opposition parties are holding their second meeting in Bengaluru, and immediately after that, the BJP will be holding a big NDA meeting on 18th July at 5 p.m. at Hotel Ashoka, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to attend it. And the BJP wants to send a strong message to all the opposition parties that if you want to extend your family or say your Kumbha, then BJP is also doing the same thing. And that's why the BJP is also trying to win back all those parties which were part of NDA for some point of time, but they were not now. So now BJP is trying to do the same thing again. And the specific target is only 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So be it Dara Chauhan, be it Jitan Ram Majhi or Upendra Kushwaha in Bihar or Chirag Paswan, all these smaller parties coming together, BJP hopes that it will help them in winning the next Lok Sabha elections.
So, well, very interesting developments there. And joining us now is Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP. Also with us, Pradeep Bhatti, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Sanjay Jha, political analyst, also on the broadcast. Going across straight to you, Mr. Pradeep Bhatti, first, how do you view this development? Because at a time when you're talking about the PDA, you have two key OBC leaders leaving the Samajwadi Party and joining the NDA fold. Well, Dara Singh Chauhan is also set to join the NDA. How do you view this? This is, of course, a setback to the Samajwadi Party at a time when you're talking about the Alpsankyak and, the backward classes.
Good afternoon. I don't think this is any kind of a setback or any surprise for us. We were well aware that from last 6 months, over 6 months, Mr. Rajbhar is trying hard to be part of the Yogi government or part of this NDA alliance. So he was trying that. Whatever he's saying in the morning, he himself is aware that himself is not aware that what he is going to say in the evening. So that kind of leader you are talking about as a mass leader, I'm still surprised. What is the vote share of Rajbhar party? If you if you had noticed, then you would have not said that Rajbhar, Mr. Rajbhar has so much stake or so much influence in Uttar Pradesh. His elected members are approximately half a dozen, which is also because of the alliance of Samajwadi Party.
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. And Anila Singh, if you can respond to that, how many votes do you think people like OP Rajbhar can actually get? Is this just for the optics simply? Many would say that the Home Minister tweeting a picture with OP Rajbhar, it's more of just the optics. And really, how many numbers and how many votes will leaders like OP Rajbhar actually be able to get for the BJP?
My Ram to everyone, and I think Mr. Rajbhar has realized his mistake, that leaving Bharatiya Janata Party's alliance was absolutely a wrong step which he took, and he has mended his ways. He is again in our alliance, and we welcome him. And if you talk, like I was listening to Samajwadi Party's spokesperson, Mr. Bharti was saying, "Arey, kya farak padta hai? Kitna hai vote percentage?" I think perhaps he doesn't understand the value of the Rajbhar votes. We definitely understand that, but at the same time, we stand with our mission, vision, and ideology, and we cannot ban on that. Mr. Rajbhar, he had some issues with Bharatiya Janata Party. He left us. Now again, he is back. If I talk about Rajbhar vote bank in eastern Uttar Pradesh, it is almost 15%. In Uttar Pradesh, it is 4%. And if I talk about the seats, directly it affects almost 20 seats. Okay. All right, like Ajamgarh, Mau, Gazipur, Balia, Chandauli, Jaunpur, Kushinagar, all those seats, they are being affected by Rajbhar votes. So Mr. Bharti cannot say that in today's date, Mr. OP Rajbhar has left Samajwadi Party's alliance, that Rajbhar votes doesn't matter. They do matter. Each and every vote of Rajbhar matters to us at least.
All right, Mr. Bharti, I'll come back to you. But Sanjay Jha, come in on the larger picture, because this is not just about UP politics. It's going to have ramifications on the larger picture of opposition unity. And of course, the BJP's OBC push as well. That's something which is very interesting, because you have leaders like Dara Singh Chauhan, and then now OP Rajbhar coming back to the NDA fold, no less than the Home Minister tweeting out that picture. So the BJP's NDA push is interesting, and this comes interestingly at a time when we are talking about opposition unity and the coming together of various regional parties as well. And very interestingly, Mr. Rajbhar today said that I contacted the SP, the BSP, and there was no response. So in that sense, it's an interesting development in national politics as well.
Vedanta, let me make two short points. Number one, the BJP is now politically desperate, and you can see that not just in the way they are now actually bending over backwards to win allies, mostly small players in different states, because they do add up as far as the aggregate votes are concerned. But if you look at what happened in Maharashtra, where I live, we saw a blatant exhibition of the vulgarity of politics, where money has been used in the case of the Uddhav Thackeray's party being broken, and now with the NCP, with Ajit Pawar now aligning with the BJP or the NDA in Maharashtra. These are basically manifestations of what I call as the fear of defeat. And I'm telling you, I'm not using any rhetoric here. Please remember that in the last few state elections, Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh have been won by the Congress by upsetting the BJP, which had been actually cocky enough to believe it could not be defeated. And the early trends are telling you that in the December winter elections coming up, the BJP is likely to be humbled again. There is a national mood building up on the issues of corruption, on the issues of price rise. You see, for a government that cannot even control the price of tomatoes, what do you expect them to run a country? So I think there are larger narrative building up, and I think Mr. Modi has got sharp political instincts. He knows that nobody wins all the time, and the opposition is convinced that India is now ready for change. So please remember, these will be all stories being built up to create the narrative that the BJP is preparing for 2024, when the truth is they're extremely vulnerable beginning now.
That point you were making, Sanjay Jha, about the BJP sort of seeming politically desperate at the moment. Anila Singh, respond to that sort of charge, because you're getting what many people would call opportunists like OP Rajbhar come back to the NDA fold. He was in your government. He was a cabinet minister in the Yogi Adityanath government back in 2017. He was sacked, and then for what you called anti-alliance activities, and you're getting this person back to the NDA fold. Many would say that this is desperation.
All right. I was listening to Mr. Jha, and Mr. Jha said that taking Mr. Rajbhar in our fold shows Bharatiya Janata Party's desperation. Then what he has to say that on 18th of July, under Mallikarjun Kharge's leadership or Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's leadership, a Kumbha is getting together in Bengaluru, and Congress party, or I can say Mr. Kharge, has invited 8 political parties from Kerala and Tamil Nadu, which are hardly known by name, but they are being invited just to show the number strength and nothing more than that. And
All right.
let me complete. So, and secondly, he said that it is a desperation and Narendra Modi ji cannot control the prices of the tomatoes. Come on, sir. You are a very well learned person. Have some comparative analysis of 10 years of UPA Sarkar.
Okay, that's a separate debate altogether, Anila Singh. That's a separate debate.
During which Sarkar was more.
Okay.
Under which Sarkar was
okay, but Pradeep Bhatti, coming to you, you know, it's interesting what Anila Singh is also saying in the sense that the timing, because you see Akhilesh Yadav is going and meeting KCR, he's meeting several opposition leaders, and many would say that he is not able to keep his own allies satisfied, like, you know, people like OP Rajbhar and Dara Chauhan. So in that sense, if you look at the optics, it is indeed a setback to Akhilesh Yadav, who's you know, pitching for opposition unity, and you have key allies leaving him.
See, Mr. Rajbhar from last 6 months was not part of our alliance. So, saying that it's a setback for us, very well known that he is exploring all his options, where he get the best deal, that what he is doing. And BJP, rightly said by Mr. Jha, that they are desperate enough because they want, not only desperate, but they understand that the NDA meetings they have never called in last few years and months. Now they are calling it and pulling every single person. Whatever they are talking about, the core issues of for 2024, we have to understand that they see the today's picture, what they have said, what they have Mr. Amit Shah has put on Twitter is that they are talking about sometimes they are talking about dynasty politics and corruption. So you see Maharashtra, you see today's development, you will very well understand how desperate is BJP is about this thing. Secondly, talking about Anilaji's about the Rajbhar, definitely Mr. Rajbhar, OP Rajbhar is not having monopoly of Rajbhars. Rajbhars never voted for them. It is only because of the Samajwadi Party when he was came into alliance with us, then only Rajbhar voted for that. If it
Fair
was
point.
so natural,
Fair point, Mr. Bhatti, and of course it remains to be seen
let me complete
how
my
this.
point.
I'm afraid I'm completely out of time. Okay, last 20 seconds. Go ahead.
If it's so natural alliance with BJP, why they left Mr. Rajbhar before 2022? And if you see the words exchange between BJP, the heated words, even abusive languages which have been used, even calling Mr. Yogi as that after 2022 he will be begging in this.
Right.
So these kind of words, and they're still compromising on those things. So understand their desperation and their diversion also. They want to divert everything which
all right, and of course that point you were making also is crucial, that Mr. OP Rajbhar does not have a monopoly on Rajbhar votes. Thanks so much to all of you for joining us.